Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back at the Pitch Side Podcast channel. I'm your host, the HOD of the PSP. Of course, like, share, comment on this video, and subscribe most importantly to the channel and enable notifications to receive all of the updates of this content on this channel, including these match recaps, Side PSP on Twitter, follow me there, Pitch Side Pod on Instagram, and listen to the podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other platform, or catch it later on at www.webreathesports.com. And we're coming off to you straight after the end of the second semi-final between Real Madrid and Athletic Bilbao in the Spanish Super Cup that ended with Athletic Bilbao defeating Real Madrid and ousting them of the cup to meet Barcelona on Sunday. Of course, this game I think wasn't exactly, outstanding for its great pace or great tempo, but I think it was notable for quite a lot of things from both sides. I think Athletic Bilbao, you know that they won't be the aggressors on this one. We know that they are a side that likes to sit pretty compact. I'm not going to say deep exactly. They don't defend with 10 in the box or anything like that, but they placed themselves really well on the pitch, and it showed on the day. They're playing with a 4-4-2 straight away, a pretty classic 4-4-2 even in its sort of disposition on the pitch, playing with two blocks, and then of course the two attackers in Raul Garcia and Iñaki Williams starting the press really high. And this is one of the most important points of the game, starting the press really high on Real Madrid, knowing that they have problems playing out the ball from the back, almost to the detriment of the Real Madrid players who are trying to play the ball from the back too many times for their liking. And the first goal, of course, was the epitome of that. It was a goal kick for Real Madrid, nothing really special. Thibaut Courtois plays the pass to Varane, Varane plays to Vasquez, Vasquez makes a bad pass towards Casemiro, intercepted by Oscar de Marcos, setting up Raul Garcia inside the box to score the first goal for Athletic Club, making it 1-0 for the Basque Club inside 18 minutes. From there onwards, Real Madrid suffered a lot, really. They were too repetitive, I would say, in the first half. They didn't threaten a lot Athletic Bilbao. They tried the same sort of drill too many times, trying to play, diagonally, crossing from one side to the other. The overlaps between the fullbacks and the wingers didn't work, particularly with Mendy and Hazard, really. Hazard hasn't hit his form yet, and it looks like he won't be hitting that form anytime soon. Asensio was slightly better equipped down with Vasquez on the right-hand side alongside Modric. The midfield of Athletic Bilbao worked really hard. Danny Garcia in particular was superb. Again, the disposition of the players, the way they were placed around the pitch, certainly made things hard for Real Madrid to try and pull them and find spaces in between. It was pretty straightforward, a block-like movement from Athletic Bilbao. Real Madrid only relied mostly on crosses. Karim Benzema wasn't there, didn't do the usual movement that he does, as you expect him to do. There was no exactly support from the wingers exactly. Eden Hazard again almost felt isolated on that right hand side at the beginning of the game, and then at the left hand side by the end of the first half and the rest of the second half. Athletic Bilbao, of course, managed to capitalize on the mistakes that Real Madrid were making, and Lucas Vasquez gave a silly penalty inside 37 minutes, gifting pretty much a 2-0 lead to Athletic Bilbao. Raul Garcia stepping in, scoring the second goal, and giving Athletic Bilbao a comfortable lead heading into half-time. The Basque Club sat deep in the second half. They tried to manage the game from then onwards, giving Real Madrid the possession, letting them do the same repetitive drill again and again, which is moving diagonally and trying to overlap, with the only time that they found actual space within the middle was the first sort of real attempt, you could say, of that game for Real Madrid, with Asensio, arguably Real's best player on the night, hitting the post from close range, but only to fail. Then he hit the crossbar, and then of course Real Madrid were back to their usual ineffective self until they scored the goal. 75 minutes, it was pretty tight. Goal for Real Madrid. The margins were really tiny in terms of the offside positioning for Karim Benzema, who scored the goal 15 minutes before the game, and that made Real Madrid a little bit more motivated, but in the same time, it made them a little bit more crazy and, careless and reckless. Sergio Ramos, by the end of the game, he was a centre forward. He wasn't playing as a defender. He was a centre forward, and that almost bit Real Madrid back in the backside with a couple of giveaways, really damning from Toni Kroos, who didn't have the best of games overall. A couple of giveaways, including a big chance for his substitute Vela Libre to score the third goal, only for Courtois to deny him in Athletic Bilbao's biggest chance of the second half, probably only chance in the second half. In the end, it was Athletic Bilbao coming out with the win, deservedly so, playing the smart game, trying to manage the game with the resources that they have against Real Madrid, who were ineffective and again were too repetitive for their own liking. And when they found a solution, they didn't try and vary their play and try to create spaces and create some movement. They were too static at certain points. You can pinpoint some players. Again, Eden Hazard didn't have the best of games. Karim Benzema, by his standards, had an average game. Toni Kroos as well. A couple of mistakes from Lucas Vazquez, of course, for both goals. Lest we forget. So overall, I think it's a deserved elimination for Real Madrid from the Super Cup. Athletic Club certainly deserve the win, and they will be meeting Barcelona in the final on Sunday. My only sorrow really is for the Middle Eastern TV network that bought the rights to that competition. They were trying so hard to buy the rights for that competition, thinking that they will get the Clasico out of that. They organized it in Saudi Arabia last year and they didn't get one, and now they bought it and pretty much sponsoring that, if you look at it really, and they didn't get a Clasico to show for it. That has to suck and has to stink, because I'm watching the game through that feed of Saudi Arabian TV, and they were really hyping up things as they wanted to see a Clasico, but they didn't. Unfortunately for them, Athletic Bilbao won. The right team won, the deserving team won overall. Real Madrid might have still some things to work on and to fix heading into the rest of the season. Certainly heading into the tie against Atalanta in the Champions League, which looked easy a couple of weeks ago, probably looked easier than now. Certainly there's some worries for this Real Madrid side. If Athletic Bilbao managed to score 2 against Real Madrid while they're playing out from the back, imagine what Atalanta with all of their offensive outlets could do in that game as well. It is worrying for Zinedine Zidane, it is worrying for the Real Madrid fans, and certainly some performances of some players, again including Hazard and Toni Kroos and Karim Benzema, might be bad signs for the future that is set to come for Real Madrid. That's it for the game. Like, share, comment what you thought on Real Madrid's loss. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you're new. Enable notifications to receive updates. I'm on Side PSP on Twitter, Pitch Cycled on Instagram. Follow me there on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other platform. Listen to the podcast there or on www.webreadsports.com. I was your boy, the HID, the PSP, and until next time, I'll see you soon. Goodbye.